Every day, around 1,500 flights depart from USA to Europe, with the majority of them following this specific route across the Atlantic Ocean. This route can be considered as an invisible highway for these aircrafts, as they fly in close proximity to each other, maintaining a distance of approximately 60 kilometers apart. In terms of lateral separation, they are about 30 kilometers apart, while vertically, they maintain merely 1,000 feet, which is approximately 305 meters difference in altitude. You might have personally experienced or witnessed videos of multiple planes flying closely together in the sky, which is particularly common in US to Europe flights along this invisible highway. However, the question arises, why do pilots choose to stay in such close proximity and use this specific route, especially in potentially hazardous situations when the entire sky is seemingly empty? The invisible highway of aircraft was discovered nearly 100 years ago. In 1920, a Japanese meteorologist named Wasaburo Oishi conducted a weather balloon research experiment in the sky. He noted that at an altitude of 30 to 40,000 feet, there exists an invisible force in the sky that propels balloons to an extremely high speed towards the east. However, this research didn't receive much attention at that time. Only right after 25 years, during World War II, an event occurred that prompted the world to reconsider the research conducted by the Japanese scientist. From that point on, the importance of Oishi's discoveries began to be acknowledged and sparkled further interest in the scientific community. In April of 1945, a group of 6 friends embarked on a trip to Oregon State to indulge in a forest picnic. While exploring the woods, they stumbled upon a colossal balloon unknown to them. This balloon concealed a perilous bomb that would explode upon disturbance, tragically claiming the lives of all 6 friends. Similar incidents were also reported across the United States, and subsequent investigations revealed that Japan was responsible for these occurrences. Upon investigation, it was discovered that these balloons had been launched by Japan, spanning a distance of 10,000 kilometers across the Pacific Ocean. Remarkably, not just a couple of or a handful, but a staggering of 9,000 silk hydrogen balloons carrying bombs released by the Japan into the West-East River of air, with approximately 300 of them successfully reaching their intended targets in the United States. The launch of these balloon bombs was made possible through the research conducted by Wasaburo Oishi, which allowed Japan to take advantage of the strong winds known as the jet streams. Now, these jet streams traverse at the altitude of 30 to 40,000 feet and travel at an impressive speed of 250 kilometers per hour, moving eastwards. They exist in both northern and southern hemispheres, taking the form of a wide tube spanning several hundred kilometers in width and approximately 4 kilometers in thickness. Wow, that's a lot. Remarkably, jet streams lack a fixed location and tend to vary. The launching of these balloon bombs became feasible due to the research carried out by Wasaburo Oishi, enabling Japan to exploit the powerful wind currents called jet streams. Now, these jet streams flow at an elevation of 30 to 40,000 feet and have a remarkable speed of 250 kilometers per hour, which is a lot, moving in an eastward direction. They can be found in both the northern and the southern hemisphere, resembling a broad tunnel spanning several hundred kilometers in width and approximately 4 kilometers in thickness. Wow! Scientists attribute the formation of these powerful winds to the temperature disparities between the poles and the equator. As warm air from the equator travels towards the colder regions near the poles, it gives a rise to the phenomenon known as the jet streams. If the wind were to travel from the equator to the North Pole, it will logically move to the south to the north. However, the primary reason why the jet streams actually travel from east to west is due to the rotation of the Earth. Our planet rotates counterclockwise, which is for sure, or from the west to east, at the velocity of approximately 1,600 kilometers per hour, which is a lot. In the both northern and southern hemisphere, strong winds would naturally move towards the poles. However, there's one thing we need to keep in mind, that the Earth's rotation compels them to instead travel from west to east. Now, let's address our main question. Why do around 1,500 commercial planes follow a single route each day when crossing the Atlantic Ocean from USA to Europe? Well, in 1952, an airline pilot embarked on a remarkable endeavor by utilizing the power of the jet stream. Just as we know that the jet streams exist over the Pacific Ocean, it is also present over the Atlantic Oceans for flights from the USA to Europe. During these journeys, pilots deliberately steered the plane into the jet streams with the wind speed of approximately 250 kilometers per hour. So the jet streams propel the aircraft forward, resulting in increased speed, reducing turbulence and fuel savings. Conversely, with this idea, when returning from Europe to USA, pilots would choose alternative routes to avoid the jet streams. The winds within the jet stream would then oppose the aircraft's performance, causing adverse effects. Over time, as the airline industry expanded rapidly, more pilots began utilizing the jet stream for eastbound flights. However, a significant challenge arose. The growing of air traffic within the jet stream posed a risk of potential accidents. Of course, who wouldn't want to take this advantage? So, to address this issue, a route plan became necessary to ensure the safe passage of flights without collisions within the jet stream. Equipped with a radar system, the air traffic control tower could detect the precise location of the planes. Using this information, a comprehensive route plan could be developed, guaranteeing the safety of aircraft within the dynamic environments of the jet stream. Now, based on the location of the aircraft, air traffic controller, the ATC, can effectively manage the altitude and the speed of planes. However, a challenge arises due to the limited range of the radar system, which has a maximum coverage of 128 kilometers. Essentially, the radar of the New York ATC covers a circular area with a radius of 128 kilometers. Once the aircraft go beyond this range, they are no longer visible to the radar, making it difficult for ATC to track their location. So this issue became particularly problematic over the vast stretches of ocean spanning thousands of kilometers. Now, to solve this problem, planes flying over the ocean transmit their position information to the control tower every 14 minutes using the satellite or high-frequency radio. However, let's not forget that accidents can happen during these 14 minutes intervals, potentially delaying immediate response or assistance. So, to address these challenges, the North Atlantic Organized Track System (NATOTS) was introduced in 1965. The NATOTS establishes multiple predetermined routes for the flights between America and Europe, supervised by our 4 main control centers strategically positioned in the Atlantic Ocean. This system aims to enhance safety and efficiency by providing a structured framework for managing air traffic over the vast expanse of the ocean. Now let's try to understand where they are actually stationed. So the first is the New York station that controls this region. The next is Gander, the Newfoundland, and it controls this portion of the Atlantic. Then there is the Santa Maria Ocean Control that is responsible for controlling this particular region, while the Shenwick stations handle the northern part. There are a total of 6 routes within the North Atlantic Track (NAT) Organized Track System (OTS), designed as NAT-A to NAT-F. Prior to the takeoff, pilots are assigned one of these routes if a particular route becomes congested during the flight due to the heavy traffic. So, pilots may be reassigned to the alternative route. These routes are strategically designed to distribute air traffic and provide favorable tailwinds for the aircraft heading towards Europe. Tailwinds refer to the winds blowing from behind the aircraft, propelling it forward. To optimize these routes, the location of the jet streams is monitored twice a day using a weather satellite, and the routes are calculated accordingly. This optimization process can be observed on the live wind map, making the routes more efficient and easier to navigate for pilots. This is the United States of America on the left and Europe on the right, and in the middle lies the vast Atlantic Ocean. If we observe the sea level and the wind speed at the center of the Atlantic Ocean measures 22 kilometers per hour, which is not a lot. The expansive white area pointing out represents the jet streams extending from USA to Europe. Within this jet stream, the 6 NATOTS routes are positioned. This strategic placement ensures that even if an aircraft's location is not updated to the ATS for a duration of 5 to 10 minutes, the autopilot system of the planes maintains their speed, altitude, and latitude based on the NATOTS conditions. Consequently, this is why aircrafts traveling to the Europe appearing to be flying often follow this particular route. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, kindly subscribe and activate the notification bell. Until next time, take care.